Hey everyone, and welcome to the Audit Guidebook channel. We are kicking off a brand new series all about audit planning. And we have to start right at the beginning. Before an auditor even cracks open a spreadsheet, there's this really foundational first step, getting to know the organization inside and out. So let's dive into why this is the secret sauce for a truly high-quality audit.
So here's what we've got on tap for today. First, we're going to talk about that very first step an auditor takes. Then, we'll get into why it matters so much. After that, I'll walk you through a super useful 7-point checklist they use. And finally, we'll see how this all applies in the real world. Looking at everything from a big bank to a small nonprofit.
All right, let's get right into our first section. Now, you probably think an audit kicks off with a mountain of spreadsheets and financial statements, right? Well, not exactly. A quality audit actually starts way before that. It all begins with the auditor basically becoming an expert on the organization itself.
Yeah, the official term is understanding the organization and its environment. But really, just think of the auditor as a detective. Before they even look for clues, they have to understand the crime scene, the victim, the whole context. It's about learning the entire landscape. What makes the organization tick, what could go wrong, and what systems it has in place to protect itself.
Okay, so let's move on. You might be tempted to think this is all just, bureaucratic box ticking. But it's so much more than that. This initial deep dive isn't just background noise. It's literally the engine that powers the whole audit.
But that really begs the question, right? Why is this whole reconnaissance phase so darn important? Why would you spend so much time on this upfront investigation before the real audit even gets going?
Well, it really comes down to 3 core reasons. First, it's all about sniffing out the risks. And I'm not just talking financial risks. I mean anything that could stop the organization from hitting its goals. Second, it lets the auditor see how the whole system of governance and controls is actually working. But honestly, the third point is the big one. All this intel lets the auditor build a completely custom-fit audit plan. Without it, they're just using a generic, one-size-fits-all template, and that's just not effective.
So how do auditors actually pull this off? I mean, they don't just show up and start wandering the halls hoping to absorb information, right? Of course not. They use a really systematic approach, something we can think of as a comprehensive checklist that guides their whole investigation.
And this checklist gives them that true 360-degree view. They start with the mission. What's the ultimate goal here? Then they look at the governance structure to see who's actually steering the ship. They dig into the key processes, whether that's building a car or distributing aid. They absolutely have to understand the web of regulations they're operating in, and even what's happening outside the company, like market competition. Finally, they look at the internal controls and overall performance to tie it all together. It's a complete diagnostic, really.
Okay, this framework is great in theory, but let's see how it actually plays out in the real world. We're going to see how an auditor's focus can shift dramatically depending on if they're walking into a bank, a charity, or a factory.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter. That 7-point checklist, it's not some rigid, unbending formula. It's more like a flexible toolkit. It helps the auditor zero in on what truly matters for that specific organization. Because, let's be honest, the biggest risk for a bank is going to be wildly different from the biggest risk for a manufacturing plant.
This table just lays it out perfectly. I mean, look at a bank. The auditor is laser-focused on stuff like risk management and anti-money laundering controls. But then you pivot to an NGO, and suddenly the priorities are all about donor rules and making sure funds are used correctly. For a manufacturing company, it's the production line, inventory, and safety. At a university, maybe it's student fees and how research grants are managed. See? It's the same framework, but it leads to 4 completely different audits.
So, what's the big takeaway here? If you walk away with just one thing, let it be this. In auditing, context is everything. That deep, genuine understanding of an organization's unique world is what separates a generic, check-the-box audit from one that is truly effective and actually adds value.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If an auditor walked into your organization tomorrow, what's the single most important thing about its environment that they would need to understand first to do a good job? Is it your mission, a specific risk, a key regulation, something to chew on? Thanks so much for joining us in the Audit Guidebook channel to kick off this series. Make sure to check out our other content, and we'll see you in the next one.